Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. My name is IJ,
Hi, I'm Uchenna.
and tonight we're going to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 8. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure we tell you to make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. We love your comments below because it inspires us. And we also like to know what you're thinking about what we're saying and your thoughts on the show, just in case we've missed anything. And subscribe, turn on your notifications, comment below, and like. So let's get into it. So couples have been married just over 2 weeks now. 2 weeks of married to a stranger, and they're settling into their daily lives and finding out, problem solving techniques. Working with with Pastor Cal last week really helped a lot of the couples. So this episode was really it was heartwarming and uplifting. I thought so because it
I
seemed
thought
like
it was a little boring.
I liked it because I thought the issues that they had in the past seemed like they were working on it. So it gave me hope for the future for some of them. So
Right.
I really liked that.
For me, just the whole, meeting the friends and all that, it was just boring to me. But once we got past that, it became more interesting, I thought.
Well, I thought meeting the friends, and we'll get into that, had a lot of insightful things because the friends gave some good advices and the friends kept it real. It wasn't just overlay. They understood what even the friends talking to the opposite spouse understood the issues that they were going through and was able to give them some good sound advice. So it was funny that in the beginning of the show, they talk about the couples learning, they're now married, learning to live the married life and leaving the single life. But then they pan over to Alyssa and Chris. And why Alyssa is still on the show, I don't know.
I think they just want to wrap. At first, I was like, oh my God, not these two again. Even though I like Chris, I don't mind seeing Chris.
Right.
But I think they're just trying to wrap it up and not just have a hard stop for them. They're just, hopefully that's it. And we don't have to keep on seeing them.
Because if I see this again, I'm just going to be like, what, come on now, quit giving her that TV time. Because it said, they're learning to go from a married life to a single life. I said, what? It's only been 11 days. So why do they really need to change their thought process? But then listening to Chris talk to his mom, I realized that they're friends.
It's a marriage, and a divorce is hard, even if it's only for 11 days. Well, if your heart is into the wedding and the process, then
not
it's
the
going to be
person
hard for you.
I think it was hard because his friends and families probably had expectations, and he wasn't able to meet those expectations of theirs with his marriage.
And not only their expectations, but his too. And no one likes to feel like a failure. And I think that's how, he felt, that he felt that's something that he wanted so badly.
Yeah, you didn't fail, Chris. You didn't fail at all. But so we did see that. We saw him talking to his mom, and his mom's face was and then, she couldn't believe it a little bit, but then she didn't get too emotional into it. So I wonder, did she know ahead of time?
But no, he hadn't talked to her at all. So she had no clue. I think the last time he spoke to her seems like it was the wedding. And that's it.
Wow. Because if Kaylin would have called me and been on the show and told me that it didn't work out, my facial expression was what? What happened, Kaylin? What happened? But she just took it in. Maybe because she knew she was on TV, she couldn't get real.
Yeah. And maybe she's not as emotional as we are. So she might be more calm and, and take things in without reacting quickly. But she had good advice. She was supportive. And she was like, well, it seems like she was wanting her 15 minutes of fame, which is what we're all thinking.
Yeah, but the mom caught on to that so quickly. So that was good. But then I guess we'll just go through each couple. We'll start with one of our favorite couples, Katina and Elijahuan. Always so positive, I just want to say when they did this, the filming of him working out, I was like, oh, he really is into working out.
Oh
His
yeah,
body,
you can tell. You can
yeah,
tell
his
he's
body was
good.
like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like when he took her to work out, he was serious. Like he was like, this is what I do. So you can tell that he's 100% into working out.
Right. So we see him with his friend Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
and they sit and talk, and like it seems it's amazing. Everybody's friends like really keep it real, you
Yeah.
know.
And they give him great sound advice. Like,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do they take their own advice? Because their advice is really good,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I wonder,
Very insightful.
is Olajuwon going to take Jeff's advice and really take it in and then utilize it when he's with Katina? And
I
that,
think so, because he seems like he's very receptive to constructive criticism. Like even when Pastor Cal was talking to him, he didn't get upset. He
right.
took it in. And same with his friend. He didn't get upset. He was just like, oh, okay, you're right. This may be what I need to do. I may need to stop overthinking things and just feel,
Mhm.
because he is strict with her. He's
Yeah.
very strict with her.
I wonder if I wonder if Olajuwon is afraid to have sex, because if he has sex, then he might go into his old ways.
Right,
And by
right.
not having sex with her, it's just like keeping things, in this new light, in this new pathway that he's trying to go. So I wonder, maybe he is, and especially listening to her friends too, maybe he is the one trying not to have sex.
Right. Mm-hmm. But our viewers, our subscribers have a different point. I don't know if you read some of the comments, but they had their own take on why he didn't want to have sex, and they were pretty funny. They were colorful reasons about size and lack of size, stamina. So it was pretty funny. And they might have a point. We don't know. Katina doesn't know yet. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Never thought about that though, ladies. See, that's why we love y'all keeping your comments coming now. So her friend said, is there any red flags? I laughed so hard. Mom and I were laughing so hard when he said that. He goes, yeah, she went to the grocery store for 2 hours and came back with some water and bread. I was like, what? She was somewhere else, getting her nails done, something else besides.
Well, she obviously doesn't know how to grocery shop, because if that's all you're coming back with, then you can get more than that in 20 minutes. So she must not know how to grocery shop.
I was laughing because that's a red flag. And then, he did bring up a point that it could be that she's not used to doing things like that. She's not used to eating at home. She's used to going out and eating. She's led a single life. And
but how much money is being spent on going out for every single meal?
Girl, let me tell you this. So my daughter, Kaylin, she lives on her own, bought her own house last year. And she, believe it or not, she doesn't cook. Kaylin doesn't really know how to cook. She eats out lunch and dinner every day. When I went to her house to visit, her refrigerator had some water, some dried up vegetables.
And some bread, because that's all Katina bought.
No bread, no bread. That's it. No. Dried up vegetables, some water, ketchup, and condiments, lots of condiments for her to bring when she brings the leftovers from the takeout. Right. And I was just like, it's some takeout food inside the styrofoam things, old takeout food. Right. Kaylin, I said, how much do you spend a week on food? She goes, not that much, because I don't really eat that much. She doesn't eat that much. But I was like, can you cook? She was like, Mom, I can't cook and I don't like to cook. So I could see that being an issue for some men that want women at home cooking and doing their normal day to day, because Kaylin is one of those that doesn't like to cook. She's led that single life. So I can see where Katina isn't comfortable cooking all the time.
At all, it seems like. But she can cook, because she cooked some stuff that he liked. So she is capable of doing it. Right. But she just must not like to do it, or doesn't do it that often.
So Katina sat with her friend, and they reminisced about the wedding and the way that he was dancing. I had forgotten how.
Oh, that was a hot mess.
I would slap my husband. Sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah, that was whoa.
But her
She
friend
said she enjoyed it.
Yeah,
she said it was a bit much, and her mom's face was priceless.
Wasn't it though? It was. But her friend said that he talks a lot. I was like, yeah, he does talk a lot. And it's like he talks a lot so that they couldn't ask him questions. But do you remember anybody saying that he's never dated a Black girl?
We didn't see that. They kept that as a surprise for later on when they sprung it on us this episode, because they never said that.
I texted you that text that said in capital letters.
Oh, I didn't know what that was when you were talking about, because I didn't see it until after. Oh yeah, they sprung that on us, which made it more interesting.
Yeah,
but
then Mom and I started talking about it, and I started to see a different light, because I was just like, at first I was like, what? And she's just like, oh my goodness, that's a concern. I said, then Katina said his mom is Irish. It does matter, girl.
It doesn't matter. Okay, yes. Okay, I can, no. I can understand him going out with both, but to purposefully exclude one, no, not because your dad is Black, your mom is white.
Yeah.
Okay, so no.
But listen,
that's not a reason.
Listen. It is. One thing I do, yes,
he's a Black man. He looks Black. He does not even look mixed. He looks Black. You can date both. You're excluding one.
Okay, you can.
And then he comes up with that sorry ass excuse that Black women have never been attracted to me. And the friend was like, you look Black. So it was just like,
okay, no, wait a second. So a lot of people date people that they're familiar with. Like, men will date women that remind them of their mothers. They do. Like, listen, I said to my son,
they say they marry women who remind them sometimes, not dates, not at that young age. Okay.
But he's attracted to white women because that's what he's used to seeing.
No, he's attracted to white women because he's attracted to white women. Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's absolutely nothing. But what I have an issue with is that he's excluding Black women. You can date whatever you want to date, but just don't be have blinders on part of who you are. I don't agree with that.
And I see what you're saying. That's why I was like, what, that I don't think he should exclusively date only only white women. Mm-hmm. But that seems to be what he was attracted to. So Katina's friend being concerned is legitimate.
Oh yeah,
because,
definitely.
Is this a new thing that he's trying out? But you don't try new things out in a marriage. So he must be really in love with Katina because she's totally different than what he's used to. And this just goes to tell you that for Alyssa saying, Chris is not something that I'm used to, and I try to get over it. No, honey, they gave him a wife. He looked at her. She doesn't look like what he's used to. This is opposite, but he's going along with it and has fallen in love with her.
But he's also really attracted to her, and Alyssa's not attracted to Chris at all.
Right.
She just should have just owned up to it, saying, instead of using all these code words, just saying, I'm not attracted to him at all, and I never will be.
No, she never will be, no matter how much she tries. I thought for a minute there they were going to get back together, but this episode told me they weren't.
Thank God, no.
Yeah. So I do want to talk a little bit, since we brought up Alyssa and her friend going out to lunch. Mm-hmm. I thought, what another gaslighting episode.
Oh, I know, total. But the thing is, we all see right through her. So it wasn't a gaslight because we know that she's lying.
Well, she's gaslighting to her friend.
Oh, but her friend kind of knows.
I feel like her friend knew too, because her friend was drop little things I know how you are, da da da. Mm-hmm. And it was funny that Lifetime was like, no, you're not going to get away with making Chris look bad. So every lie you tell, we're going to show the truth right behind it. So I thought that was so good.
She's going to be so pissed when she watches the episode.
She saw it today.
Especially that episode.
She saw it today because it just ended.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
don't you wish you could see her and talk to her?
Oh man, she's like going cuckoo crazy. She is so pissed right now. So pissed. Like, I wonder if anybody's done any interviews with her.
I looked today, could not find any. I even tried to see her Instagram page. It's blocked.
Well, they don't open it until after.
I know, but honey, you're not on the show.
But she's still on the show.
I know.
So
I know. Yeah. Then I tried to look for old pictures of her on Facebook and stuff. I really couldn't find anything. And I tried to see if anybody is talking about her. And there's nothing there where she's talking. So obviously they're not allowing her to talk right now. No. Maybe afterwards she can, but right now she can't.
She'll just be trying to gaslight us even more. So why even bother interview her?
I know, right?
Gonna say any truth.
I know. Yeah. Alyssa, why did you lie so much? What lie? No, they twisted the truth around. They would, put words in my mouth. As you can see, my lips were moving, but those are not the words that were coming out of my mouth. Oh my God. So Steve and Noy, I do like Steve and Noy, but Steve can be annoying.
Steve? What do you mean? How?
His reasoning for not working.
Oh yeah, that's like, it's ridiculous. Like, I want to know how much money you have in the bank where you feel so comfortable with having kids and not having a steady job. Like, if he had like steady, like freelance work, one after another, okay. But when you're not working,
when you're making breakfast for your wife and trying to make her feel comfortable at home in her little office desk, working at home, no.
Yeah. And then he was like, I'm self-employed. My husband was just watching like the first 20 minutes. He was like, no, you're not self-employed. That's not what that means at all.
No, it's working when I want to work, working when I need the money. She said, what made me so mad and made me almost turn the TV off was when he said, I'll take care of myself. No, it's not about taking care of yourself. You're married now. Right.
I mean, he just has to get used to that. So I wasn't so upset when he said that. What got me was when he was like, I don't feel like, working right now because I need to find myself. I need to explore things. I'm like, dude, you're almost 40. Like, why haven't you found yourself? And what exactly are you exploring? What are you exploring?
His creativity is what he was talking about. Because that's what he said, his creativity. And I wanted to say to him, while you're using up your savings, what about saving for future retirement, future kids? You can't just work.
College, right.
You can't work just to spend money for now. You got to work to spend money now and to save. The selfishness of him to have his wife be the sole breadwinner when he has a viable job skill.
Occupation.
It's just irritating to me.
Right. If he was single, okay, do whatever you want to do. But when you're married and you can't do that, you have to think about the other person. You have to make sure that other person feels like they're in a stable environment.
Right.
Unless like one job, you make a ton of money. Okay, I get it. But she has to understand that. So you got to bring out your checkbook and show her.
So that to me is a major red flag.
Yeah. But he's a great person. I mean, he seems like a really nice.
That's not enough.
It's partially enough. It's not. That counts for something. Money is not everything.
No, money's not everything. But if I want to live a certain lifestyle, if I want to shop, go out with my friends, if I want to eat and have a nice place to live, there has to be income coming in.
But the thing is, we don't know how much money he has saved. So I wish he would just tell her at least so she could feel better, or maybe he has and she still feels uncomfortable.
How much is enough for him to be frolicking around like this? How much is enough, do you think, that would make you feel comfortable?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Is $50,000 enough?
No, that's not enough.
No.
So we don't, he's what, 36? So, and he's single and no kids. So he might have a lot of money saved up.
But he's been traveling.
No, just for the past 4 months, because he was working. He said during the pandemic, he lost his job. And then he decided
they had their first round of layoffs. He probably volunteered knowing him.
He probably did take a package. Yeah. And so so it hasn't been, it's not like he's been doing this for forever.
Right.
You know, it seems
So
like it
he's
was just
young, he
happened.
hasn't been in the workplace for that long. So I'm thinking he doesn't have no $50,000-$60,000 in savings.
He
Oh,
probably does.
I can't judge. Let me just keep it real.
He probably makes a good amount of money because of his occupation. So he probably has. I hope he doesn't think $5,000 is enough to survive on.
Oh, heck.
So I think hopefully he has a good nest egg.
So, you know, he doesn't want to buy a house. What? So where do you want to live? You want to continue living up? You know what? Never, I take that back. Looking at how he was living before with the stringed lights, LED lights, in that college dorm looking thing. Yeah.
Well, his apartment was okay. It was better than most of the people's apartment, other people's apartment.
You know what? I couldn't live like that. So no, Steve, that's a hard no.
Let's talk about their argument, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So they were in the apartment, and so he brought out his noodles, and she had her noodles, which were vegan.
Oh, yes. And
then
gluten-free.
Okay, gluten-free. And so he left it there because he thought that she was gonna cook for them both, and she was cooking her food, and he came out and she hadn't started cooking his food. So he was like, "Oh, are you gonna cook my noodles?" And then she seemed annoyed, and then she started cooking them, and then he left again, and then he came back and they were overcooked, and he wasn't like mean or anything. He was like, "You know, my noodles are overcooked. I mean, it's gonna be hard for me to eat them." She got so pissed that she packed up like her backpack, took her dog, and left. And then he was like, "What's going on?" And he called her, she wouldn't reply, texted her several times, she wouldn't reply, gone all night without telling him where she was. And then finally, in the next day, she comes back and he was like, "What's going on? Like, why did you do that? That's not how you have a relationship." And so they talked back and forth. And I was happy that he let her know. You know, he apologized for what he said, which I really didn't think he needed to apologize for. But then she wrote on an Instagram note that this relationship isn't working out like she thought it would. It's okay to say no and think about yourself. And he was mad about that because he said, "You know, my family now follows you and they see this post. And was this post directed towards a relationship?" And she was like, "Yes, it was." And it's like, okay, my family is now looking at that. The world is now looking at that, knowing that you're talking about our relationship. That's not acceptable. And then she was like, "Yes, I can see that. I probably shouldn't have done that." He said, "There's no probably about it. You should not have done that." And so it was good and he's calm. Steve is calm. He doesn't raise his voice, but he gets his point across. And I thought she acted like such a baby. She was upset because she cooked for him. And that was her first time cooking for him. And he should have been like, "Oh, it's okay. Thank you for cooking for me." Instead of being honest and saying like, "This is not edible." So I just can't be with that drama over something so small.
I agree. I can't be with that drama over something so small, but I think there's something more to it. People don't get that upset over just that. I want to know what really transpired. What's the underlying issue? Because she took it so far, there's got to be an underlying issue. And
the problem is that she didn't talk about it. And if there's an underlying issue, then you need to talk about it instead of just storming out.
Right. I totally agree with you. I just want to find out, and hopefully later on, we're going to learn what the real underlying issue is. And I wonder if she's starting to get stressed because he's not working.
Well, I thought she was going to say, "Here you are not working, and
yeah,
I'm cooking."
That's what I was thinking.
You know, "I'm cooking and working," and then you have the nerve to get upset. But that's not what her issue was, you know?
We don't know that because she didn't say.
She did say. She said that she was upset because she cooked for him. And instead of saying thank you, he complained. And that was her first time cooking for him.
I bet he'll never complain again. That's for damn sure.
Oh, I will be complaining. Please leave again. And that'll be the last time you come through those doors. Yeah.
She should have said, "You know, I was expressing myself do my cooking.
My creativity.
Yeah.
Or walking out the house.
So let's talk about Lindsey and Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like Lindsey and Mark may be in a slightly better place. He had positive things to say about Lindsey to his friend when they were playing catch.
Right.
Yeah, he had quite a bit of positive things to say. And I was surprised because I thought that they were just in a bad place, but maybe having Pastor Cal be there really helped out a lot.
Yeah, I think so. I think it did help out. Yeah.
So it was.
But he did point out the things that made him, upset with Lindsey and
things that we haven't seen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She is very outspoken in public.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable. No, we saw all that stuff.
I didn't see the finger in the thing. Do you remember that?
They didn't. That's a one that they didn't show. She has no filter, like her dad said. And she wants to get a reaction out of people. That's why she's saying that.
She wants to get a reaction, yeah. And you saw her face all up like this and just laughing when she said it because she knew she's going to get a reaction. And she doesn't care whether it's a positive or negative.
No, she just wants a reaction. I think what he said is right. When she drinks, she has diarrhea of the mouth. She can't control her mouth at all, And he was saying that because of what she's doing, he can't connect with her. Right. He's having an issue connecting with her.
And I think that that's something that at this stage in her life, is she going to be able to change it? I don't know. One of the only ways I think she might change it is if she starts going to some type of therapy where she gets counseling on changing her reactions and finding out why she acts the way she does and if she needs to be on medication. Because there's nothing really wrong with being on medication if you need it. If it helps you to function, there's nothing wrong with it. When they had their get together with their friends, which we'll get back to some of the other people's get together with their friends, I was scared.
Right, but it turned out well.
It did.
It wasn't bad at all.
And both of their friends understood. The funny thing is, Lindsey understands Mark so well, right? Yeah.
If she could just temper herself, remain calm, and not be so wild and loud, they would work out. But she's too much, even for Mark, which is his friends were surprised because he's like Lindsey, but just not rude. He's the one who's energetic and the life of the party, but he doesn't compare to her.
Yeah. So I wonder why they thought him being energetic and life of the party, and then Lindsey being super energetic and attention seeking, life of the big party, would be able to, maybe they thought that he would be able to tolerate her because he's somewhat like that. Right. But in the end, she's just a bit too much.
Right. Yeah. And then, things are going well. And then you see when they all get together to go pinballing that,
alcohol.
It's not. Say what?
Alcohol again.
Yeah. And she just can't control herself. And he gets, upset. And then it's just she's vicious.
I was just going to say it. And that's one of the things that he doesn't like. That's why he stays silent sometimes, is because he doesn't know how her reaction is going to be. And when she starts saying things like that, she doesn't care who's around and who's listening.
But luckily she was in the bathroom with the producer, but she was tearing him up with what she was saying about him. So
did she not think that it's not going to be on camera?
She can't control herself at that point, right?
Yeah. Do you think that the show has a responsibility to not show that type of stuff, so that let's just say the couples decide to stay together, right?
She said it. She has to deal with it.
Right. But
why should they?
People say things in times of anger.
And you have to deal with the consequences,
I like the show. I don't feel like the show, for Alyssa, yes. But for Lindsey and Mark, if they're going to stay together, don't show things like that, because that could be detrimental to a budding relationship.
Then you don't say things like that. And that's your lesson to learn.
That's not
You
who
got to
was.
learn to not be so vicious if you want to have a relationship with somebody, because they can hear it and then find out. And then that's it. So you got to learn to control your tongue.
She has some major work to do, and kudos to Mark for dealing with it. My God, I don't know if I could have done it. Let's go to our boring couple, Jasmina and Michael, but they were better this season.
Yeah, they're definitely better.
Yeah, they're better. I didn't realize how competitive he was. Did you?
No, he's coming out of his shell. You've seen a lot more of his personality, which I think is great.
Yeah.
And they're getting along good.
Yes.
But she doesn't give an inch. Like when everyone is like, how are things going now? She's like, it's okay. She's not saying it's good or it's a lot better. She's like, it's better. So it's okay.
And she's one of those people, like, when somebody tells you, how's it going? Sometimes I really don't want to hear how you're, just say it's okay, move on. But no, she's going to sit down and tell you the truth about whatever's going on. But this is a couple that really benefited from Pastor Cal.
Yeah.
Meeting with them. So thank you, Pastor Cal, for sitting down and doing your job and meeting with them. I was really surprised when he was playing like it was them at the wedding with the lobsters.
Yeah, his personality is coming out for sure. Right, and I think he's helping him do that.
Right. But Jasmina is still holding back. Yep. Still holding back.
She still is thinking about the past, even though she says she's not. And her friend called her out.
Yeah, I don't blame her though. Do you? I don't really blame her for not. It's too soon to like. You should let go, but you're still going to remember things because you just.
But nothing happened with her being so upset with still. Like, I know. What transpired isn't enough to be upset an hour later, and let alone a week and a half later. It's just not.
It's not. But the only thing that the only thing that I think that he's done that he's probably did wrong was not tell her about the 2 female roommates when he had the opportunity. So that might be a little red flag. But like you said, her friend did call her out on it. Her friend did let her know that, yes, you do hold grudges. I wanted to say you can be petty as hell too.
Yeah. And you think you're right all the time.
Right. You know? Right. So that was good. I think they had a good time with their housewarming with their friends too. So and her one friend was cracking up. The one friend with the curly hair.
Yeah. She
was cracking up. It seemed like they had a good time. But I wonder why only such few friends came to each event.
Maybe because of COVID, they didn't want to.
Maybe, but I forget about COVID sometimes.
Time is running out, so it'd be good to touch on the bowling alley when they were all together. They were just
that was sad.
They're going around telling how each person was doing, and then Alyssa and Chris announced that they were breaking up, and that no one was surprised. And then Alyssa, of course, could not stop from lying, was saying that she was very disappointed and she put so much effort into it.
She was in pain, she said.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I was like dozing off. And she said, I'm in pain. I was like, I said, Mom, did she just say? She's like, oh my God. She said, I can't believe her. So why?
Yeah, well, she's delusional. And it was funny watching everyone's reaction when she said that she tried very hard. She put all of her effort into it. And they were just like, what?
This was like, I think this was Jasmina's, not Jasmina, but Katina.
She's like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
I wonder what the guys were thinking in their heads too.
Well, Elijahuan was kind of upset that she said that because he was like, I'm putting 100% effort into it. We're all putting 100% effort. You can't sit there and tell me that you put in as much effort as I did because you didn't, so everyone knows what's up, So I just hope when she said that, what's next for me? I'm going to go to Texas.
I was
It's
like,
like,
good luck.
no, please
Good
leave
luck.
tomorrow.
Good
So
luck.
we don't have to see you anymore.
I wonder what's there in Texas.
Cowboys. That's what she said. She's
Oh,
gonna
I
go
know
get
she said Cowboys. I was just like, but you know,
if that's what she wants, then she should definitely go and find her that cowboy. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably needs a new start, a new life, especially since everybody has seen her in that town and knows exactly what happened. You need to go somewhere where nobody
There's no
knows
escaping it now. It's national. So everyone sees who you are.
You know, it's gotta be hard.
There.
The We Hate Alyssa Club, knowing that everybody hates you.
I know.
Yeah. But you know, we do want to thank you all for tuning in today.
Mm-hmm.
We will be back again on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Friday or Saturday. Mm-hmm. Or even Sunday. We're not sure yet. So you're gonna have to keep tabs. You are.
Yes, notification.
Yeah.
It's easy.
I know.
Put that on.
It doesn't get any better than this. We give you the real on the real. And we just want to say thank you for following us. Put on your notifications and leave your comments below. So we're going to say have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.